Welcome back to another episode of the OKC Redcast Sack Manager Edition. I'm Tyler Vaughn.
And I'm Alan Langston. We're here to bring you the clearest, most comprehensible perspective on Manchester United out there.
I don't know about that. Well, let's not waste any time on the jokes, Alan, because this is serious. This is serious times. We have an incredibly serious panel here today to help discuss the sacking Ruben Amorim and next step to the club. Joined with us today is James Ward, Kyle Marshall, Hunter Davis, and Matt Jacobson. Hey, fellas, what's going on?
How's it going?
How's everybody doing?
And James's cat was making a brief cameo there.
Julius always likes to say hello.
Yes, fantastic. Well, guys, show of hands. Who was surprised that Ruben got sacked on Monday morning? Really?
I didn't think he was. I had actually texted a good friend of mine who's a Chelsea supporter, and I said, "Did you see Amorim tread up the Maresca approach?" And he's like, his words were, "I hope it works out better for him." And then the next day, it did not work out better for him.
I was never going to, and that was crazy. Yeah, no, I mean, I assume you saw the press conference after the game and his walk off, his fiery rant, and his walk off. Okay, yeah, no, I thought for sure whenever that happened, I was like, "That's done."
Coach versus manager. He was making a push
going on behind the scenes. Alan, you were caught off guard by that?
Yeah, I just think it was really poor timing. I didn't really think they would push that hard. I didn't think his comments in the presser were, I don't know, that crazy. It just seemed like, a bit out of turn.
It could have been worse.
Yeah, could have been worse. I don't know. It took me by surprise because I really thought that they'd give him till the end of the season. So
you're giving the United hierarchy credit for running a tight ship there, huh? For having things sorted out. You're assuming they're going to do things the right way. Then is what you're saying. Like,
I figured they'd be a little bit logical about it, but I guess not. I guess that's too much credit, honestly, to this crew.
I'd argue it's a little illogical. I mean, you had him come out and say he was going to get 3 years earlier, and then for this to be the deciding factor without even talking about it, it seems like.
From what I heard,
I'm trying to say that they would learn from their previous mistakes, basically.
From what I heard, it sounds like they made their decision before the Leeds game even happened. Like after Amorim's meeting with Wilcox, like they just didn't like how he was in the meeting, and they just decided no more. Which is, I mean, I agree. I think they should have given him till the end of the season. Like you put so much hype on him, and made a point of saying, "Oh, it's going to take 3 years for him to be a great coach," and then you just what? Well, we'll just nip that in the bud. 14 months in.
Yeah, I think it kind of really came to a head with the formation discussion. It sounds like they were really pressing him to shift things, and he didn't want to, and they more or less made him do it. And it sounds like maybe he kind of went behind their backs a bit and trotted out that lineup against Wolves, and then they had the talk with Wilcox, and it didn't go well, and then the results him being really upset after the Leeds game and his rant about wanting to be a manager, not a coach. And so, I mean, the timing is terrible just because I think the team is, on the cusp of a Champions League spot, obviously underperforming from what we would all want, but still thereabouts. A lot of players out. I don't know, Kyle. What do you think? You were big on Amorim when they brought him in, and we had you on the pod. I think you were a fan. So, you sad to see him go, or is it the right move?
You can't accept 31% win percentage. It's the worst of any United manager we've had post Sir Alex. So obviously the results say that he has to get fired.
Post World War II, Kyle. Post World War II.
There you go. Post World War II. Thank you, Alan. But here's the thing: is that this I went back because I wanted to make sure, so I re-listened to the vetting that we had right when Ten Hag was about to get sacked.
We have 2 listens on that episode now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I meant both of them. But anyway, I went back and I listened to it because I said it then and I will say it again. This club is rotten. There is such significant problems with the way this club is run that this was always going to happen. You have a manager who's putting his foot down, saying he wants to run the club, he wants to run the team a certain way, and they're looking for a yes man. The Glazers were looking for it. Now Ineos is looking for it. And until that changes, nothing's going to change. And it's sad. It's terrible. Amarin, Mo, and Ragnick all said it, and they've all managed it. Clubs all over, well, not so much Amarin, but Mourinho and Ragnick have managed huge clubs in huge countries all over Europe. And they said that this club is run terribly. And if you just keep running the club terribly and nothing changes above the coach or the manager, nothing's going to change.
Well, I mean, United were very, very careful about, saying that he was the head coach. He was not the manager for the first time in the club's history. It was in the press release when they signed him. Surely that was clearly communicated. He knew what he was getting himself into. I mean, does some of that blame fall on Amram for accepting a job that?
Yeah, I mean it does, but at the same time, if you're going to handcuff a manager who clearly Amarin had a system, they knew that when they brought him in, right? He ran the three back, he ran it at Benfica, he's run it at every level, and he bought players that he thought were going to be able to work and fit in that system, and that's how he managed his team throughout the whole thing. So if you were just going to hire a coach, yeah, hire a yes man, hire someone who's just going to shuffle out whoever you want, whenever you want it, right? But if you're just looking for a yes man and a fall guy, then what are we doing here? Yeah, just keep Ole on. Just keep leave Darren Fletcher in. Like who really cares at that point? You just need a guy who's going to stand on the sideline with an earpiece in that's just going to do whatever they say up in the ownership box. So it's like if you truly want change. I mean, I know we're talking about Sir Alex Ferguson, who's you could debate the greatest manager of all time. There's no debate on my end. He's the greatest manager of all time, right? Who had full control. And I know that can't happen in today's world, right? But he had full control. He was over the transfers, he was over the academy, he was over everything, right? Every part of the football operation that happened at Manchester United ran through Sir Alex Ferguson. And so if you don't want that, then you need to hire a good director of football, not someone that you're going to hire, say he's a 10 out of 10 hire, then sack 3 months later. Like, what are we doing? It's a clown show. It's literally a clown show at this point. It's just a joke. It sucks. It's just a joke.
Hunter, you've been quiet. You in mourning right now?
I'm respecting the round table, Tyler. The round table format. We're being polite and let everybody finish their point.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, man? You're very outspoken at Skinnies on match days, so
especially against Ruben. I think I was probably the most negative-ish on the Facebook group. I mean, I tried not to be too negative. I try to follow the line of support the manager, support the squad, all that stuff. But I don't know if it's down to yes men or getting a manager to necessarily do exactly what the sporting director says, or I think it's just down to the formation, kind of what Tyler was alluding to earlier, that everybody had a problem with that formation. I think they gave him a lot longer than most managers with that formation. Ten Hag came into the club and immediately switched his formation. He was a 3 at the back guy too. I mean, he lasted maybe 2.5, 3 games, and then the Liverpool game, he had to play a back 4. I mean, he succumbed to the pressure. Whereas Kyle, I think you're right. Ruben's a guy that's not going to bend knee, and he did not bend knee. He played his formation. He played his formation to his detriment. At times, we would be a man up. The opposition would have a red card. He would not switch the formation around and bring on attackers or sacrifice the third defender, central defender. So he was not going to bend knee. I think that question maybe triggered him a little bit, and he got some stuff off his chest. And kind of like what you're saying earlier, he was used to speaking off his chest. He had some fiery press conferences. I think that's why it kind of took me by surprise, is because he said some outspoken stuff before and got away with it. But
I was going to say, yeah, go ahead.
I think if you're Ineos and you're firing the mill staff, and your manager's going out or your head coach is going out and directly contradicting you, you have to kind of lay down the law, as Alan clearly so likes. So.
Well, all I was going to say about the formation real quick is he bought certain players that were going to fit that formation. And I think some of the buys made a lot of sense. I think that some of the players he inherited that he tried to fit in just were never going to work. And I think injuries was a huge problem. Trying to get that all set up. A lot of the backline had to shuffle a lot of the time. Alan, I'm getting a ton of reverb from you.
Yep. Same thing.
But anyway, it is just mind-boggling that it's just that the formation's getting blamed so much, whereas three at the backs worked in a lot of. I know you can say what you want about the Premier League, but it's worked in a lot of different leagues. It's worked all over the place. He had the right players for it, in my opinion. It's just he had injuries, and then for some godforsaken reason, he wouldn't put Diogo Dalot in a position to be successful. Dalot has been so piss poor. He's been awful. And for some reason, we keep throwing him out there on the right, on the left. It doesn't matter. And then he's terrible. I'm not going to keep ranting about Dalot that much, but it is crazy to me that we have pieces that can make sense and make work. And then we just keep blaming the formation because of injuries. And look, his tactical substitutions stunk. The fact that we didn't buy a midfielder in the summer was a terrible, terrible thing, and it's just all came to fruition. Like again, we're in fifth. I want to come out and say that we're in fifth, but we are 4 points off of 15th.
I also just want to say that. I also just want to interject and say that it's also not his fault that two of our arguably two of our best players went to AFCON. That's not his fault either.
No, but at the same time, you can't blame AFCON. Everyone's got AFCON missing pieces, right? And so you can't blame AFCON for giving for only getting a point against Wolves and only getting a point against Leeds. That's terrible. And to Hunter's point, when you're bringing on a sixth defender when you need a goal, it's that's just it's crazy. I know the bench isn't very deep because you have to bring on some kid. You have to bring Cheeto Obi or some kid to try to get a goal, but you can't just sit there and say, "Oh, I'll just throw on Lenny Euro, and bring out a midfielder or put Lissandro Martinez at a 6." It doesn't make sense.
Matt, what are you thinking, man?
Well, there's a vacuum running, so I'm trying to be muted for a little bit. But I don't know if it's loud enough to hear.
Man, it's real. This is raw.
Better than Alan's reverb.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the results were bad. I mean, like Kyle said, you can't do that. I had said earlier, they said he was going to get 3 years, but with results like that, it's not surprising it happened. I mean, the timing is surprising, but it wasn't getting better. I was looking in our last 11, which is November 1st till now, we were 3-6-2. I mean, that's just not going to cut it. We were fielding 1.7 goals per game and giving up 1.5. I mean, those aren't things you want out of a team that you think is going to finish in the top 4. That's a mid-table team right there.
We are a very good attacking team for the season as far as XG goals, things like that. Statistically, we're not doing bad there. We only have 2 clean sheets all year. That's a huge issue, right?
In a 3 center back system too. I think
right.
That's where some of the frustration comes with the formation.
Yeah,
is that we're playing 3 center backs, so theoretically we should be better defensively if we're sacrificing the offensive player for that center back. So
I think part of the 3 center back system also becomes from the rotation that's been happening at the center backs because you have 3 completely different trios every match, it seems like. And so the consistency, obviously it's easy to stay consistent with 2. Consistency with 3, it's just, it all gets thrown for a tizzy. But I want to go back to the point that unless something changes above the manager, we're never going to see these results.
I think you're seeing the changes. I mean, this is 2 years of Ineos being in charge. They are totally in control of footballing operations. The Glazers have removed themselves from that part of it. And I get where you're talking about as far as the well is poisoned with the Glazers. And, Ineos is not really showing themselves to be, the best stewards of the club so far. But I think they saw that what we've mentioned before is we're still top 5, or we 6 or whatever we are. We're still in the hunt. And what Matt was saying earlier, there was no change coming. I mean, he was not going to try to change things as far as formationally to kind of
No,
switch things up. I think
No.
they see European competition. They could get Vibes FC going for the last 6 months of the thing, get into Europe. And guess what, guys? It's a World Cup year, so we might be waiting till August for a manager of a national team to get in the door. So
No thanks.
oh, I we'll get to that. I got ideas.
I don't want to. Nagelsmann, maybe.
I got ideas. Oh, Alan, I got a list.
I bet you do.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys. My mic is just
We'll
not
circle back
wanting to work with me today.
managerial
Yeah.
prospects here in a minute, but yeah, I guess so. It sounds like, I mean, we know for sure Darren Fletcher's going to be coaching tomorrow, likely at the weekend. And then it sounds like from what I'm reading lately is that Ollie is going to be the guy. I mean, it sounds like it's almost dead on that he's going to take the job. He's there. I think he's had the discussions. He basically said, "I'll do it for free." Are we good with that? Are we good with that for 6 months?
did you see the poll in the Facebook group? I mean, it's crazy how overwhelmingly everybody wants
You
this guy
have
back. I mean,
you have one of the biggest Ollie critics when he was here,
I
right
remember.
here, this guy, and I am perfectly fine with him on an interim basis.
Okay.
Do not give him the job
Yeah.
at the end of the season. Do not, because this is what happened last time. If you guys remember, we brought Ollie in on an interim basis, and then sure, you can have it. Don't do that again. But look, he's at least a proven Premier League manager. Like, he got a second in the league. He's been the longest tenured manager we've had since Sir Alex. Sure, like, let him run the club for 6 months, but don't give him the full job.
What if he goes on a run
One
again?
condition:
like last
if he
time?
wins 20 in a row,
Don't
give it to him.
Don't give him the
No.
full job.
20 in a row. 20 in a row.
Yeah,
he
if
can
he
have a
win-
10-year
if he-
contract.
If he wins the league, sure.
What if he qualifies us for Europe and wins the FA Cup? Are the club in any position to be like, I don't think we're gonna offer you the job?
Ten Hag won the FA Cup and he got sacked not that much later. Like, what are we doing here?
I mean, yeah,
They shouldn't have kept him.
Van Gaal also won the FA Cup, and if it was filtered out that he was going to be sacked before, but I'm just saying, but I don't think I think if Ole goes on a run and also does well in the FA Cup / wins the FA Cup, I don't see the club as being like, thanks, but get out.
I think that would
I
be
think they're already telling
massive
him that.
mistake.
Yeah, I think they're already telling him thanks, but at the end of the season, you're out. No matter what happens.
Nostalgia trap again and
Yeah.
go down memory lane. And
Yeah, but most people thought we were going to keep Amron to the end of the season. Look how that went.
That's true.
Yeah.
honestly, I think it's all our expectations, though, that it would be kind of a 6-month deal till the end of the season, and that's our expectations. I remember when they offered him the job, I think most people were good with it. I mean, it's probably the most United-ish team we had kind of seen with the counterattack. We looked great on the counter. I mean, I'd like to have that back. You know what I mean?
At the end, we couldn't score any goals, and he ran into the same problems. He was sticking with the same lineups.
I mean,
I know,
you can't
but he was sticking with he was doing the same thing Amron was doing. He was still with the same lineups. You're running into the same just non-imaginative football, just getting terrible results. That people like don't romanticize Ollie too much. You have to remember at the end it wasn't very good.
Yeah,
To be fair, they didn't get him a midfield.
Yeah, they dumped Ronaldo on him. It's Ronaldo's fault.
Yep.
Well, and Sancho didn't work out. Varane got injured quite a bit, and we got Donny Van de Beek. That was it. That was his.
That was your guy. That was your guy.
Huge Donny fan.
Yeah, I know you were.
Over Fred, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he had to run around with McTominay and Fred. Arguably, neither of them are true CDMs, and he was playing them in a double pivot.
You mean the player of the year?
McTominay clearly isn't a CDM with Napoli.
Clearly, Scott McTominay is being played out of position.
Yeah,
clearly.
I mean, all I'm saying is, after he kicked that bicycle goal and that bicycle kick in for Scotland, I was like, what? Why did we let that guy leave? Why? Why?
That's one of my things I wanted to talk about here is that every manager that we've had, let's call it since Mourinho, because that's far enough back, right? Has brought in guys that are going to fit their system, right? And then we sack the manager, then we try to hire someone else right behind it. It's like then these guys end up leaving because they were brought in under a certain manager with certain promises, certain things. And a lot of them have been successful, right? These cast-offs have been successful. Even Rashford's having a pretty good season with Barcelona right now. So it's like what's like again? When do we start pointing the finger back at us and say, well, maybe we're the problem?
For
That
four of the
We the fans?
4 of the top 5
you
goal
personally,
scorers.
Alan.
I was going to say 4 of the top 5 goal scorers Amorim had last season left.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, scoring goals this season isn't our issue.
Yeah, it's defending. It's goalkeeping. It's the fact that
Any sort of possession, just
right.
possession.
Yeah, I think I think one of the things about going back to the club being kind of rotten is we're operating like a small club at some points. Like I think Lemons can be a very good goalkeeper. He's still very young, but you had an opportunity probably to buy Emi Martinez, right? And you didn't. And Emi Martinez is a World Cup winner. He's a proven top goalkeeper in the world. And you go out and you buy a young kid. And it's a small club mentality. I understand like the thought process behind it, but if you're trying to do something right now, you need that goalkeeper. And I think that's part of the board's like thought process is like, oh, how can we save a buck? How can we save?
But we also needed a striker this year. Mbumbo has been Brian has been a revelation. To me, he's the best signing post Bruno.
He's one of my bright spots. Yes.
And Cunha, I just don't think there's enough. I mean, I think they went out and got who they could get. And Emmy was out there, but he's kind of a head case, and he does bring a lot of negative media attention as far as some of the stuff he does with the national team. And we're such a commercial club. The last thing we need is a guy going rando in Argentina. And, we already had one of our Argentina players coach to me that got in trouble, so.
For the record, I'm so glad we did not sign Martinez, mainly because I don't want to hear my mother complaining, bringing up the whole Argentine-England beef every time he left the goal in, because I guarantee you,
Falkland Islands would come up all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would have
That's
had
all
to
you
hear
talk
that
about is the
all the
Falklands.
time. Yeah. All the time.
I'm waiting to see Liz just slap James really fast.
She's at work for another 30 minutes. So.
Oh, you're lucky, James. You're lucky.
I think bright spots under Amorim, though. You're right. Brian Mbeumo is fantastic. Like I knew when we bought him, he was going to be a great player for us. He brought that tenacity that we needed in an attack. That just that go right. Cunha, when he's played in the right position, is also very good. He's a 10. He's not a 9. He could play a 9, but it's not a very good 9. I think, Bruno's been a revelation. Obviously, he's always been very, very good. He's been extremely good this year, and I think that with Euro, Heaven, and Delict as the 3 center backs going into the future, that is very promising. Delict needs to stay healthy, obviously, and Euro. But like those 3 center backs are going to be top center backs for the next decade, in my opinion. Heaven's very early.
They could be. Yeah, they could be. Potentially,
you have 3 top center backs for the next decade. So I think all 3 of those have been bright spots. Aiden Heaven, obviously, one player of the month for us. You have a lot of potential in this team. It's just I think that you got to get someone in here who's going to get the most out of the young talent we have and then sit there and say, okay, I need to go out and buy people who are proven commodities, and I need the board to back me to buy them.
So Solskjaer, that's all I'm hearing.
That's a yes man right there.
I have a list, Alan. We'll get to the list.
So, real quick, guys, how quickly does Solskjaer recall Rashford? How quickly does that happen?
There's a way back in for Rashford now? Is he back?
If he plays like he's been playing for Barcelona, why not?
We could do worse. Yeah, we could use
it. Before Amorim got fired, I was like, maybe, because, with the players out of AFCON, I was like, maybe we do need to recall Rashford. I mean, we already recalled Toby Collier, so, why not, add Rashford to that list too? But, I mean, it's, it could happen. I mean,
go buy Pogba while we're at it.
Well, before we move on to what things look like in the summer when we look for that long-term candidate, in the short term, what's success look like for Ollie till the end of the season? What are we thinking? Does he need to get in Europe?
Just calling Ollie's.
Yeah,
it's going to be right. It's going to be. Yeah. Okay, if it's not Ollie, then it's going to be Michael Carrick, right? It's going to be somebody with United DNA, probably. A yes man, right? Somebody who's going to come in and not ruffle any feathers. What's success look like for an interim manager? Because we should be in Champions League. We should be in the top 4. Like, this squad's good enough to get there. We're right about
I think
there. I mean,
I think the season has opened up that you can like 3, 4, 5, 6 are very achievable this year.
mhm.
I think 1 and 2 is obviously out of the question with Arsenal and City, and I think the bottom is like I hate to be like I said, we're 4 points off of 15th, so that's the part of the problem is that there's so much parity in the middle of the
We
table
play
right
City and
now.
Arsenal here in a couple of weeks. We could easily be right down at the bottom real quick
Right?
here.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like there's a lot of parity
That's-
in the middle of the table. So
That's also why I was questioning the firing decision. It's like, look who we have coming up. It's like, don't you at least want? I mean, to see him, because he beat, we beat Liverpool and we beat City, and I'm
Should've
just
beat
thinking,
he's the only manager to do it.
I'm
And
like,
they're
can you not
balanced.
just could we have not just waited like a couple of weeks? But then it's like, it's also through January, and it's like, but like I would just look at the fixture list. Like, what are you doing?
There's never a good time to fire a manager.
Never
So
in the Premier League is a good time.
yeah.
I think it's so united. It's such a united podcast that we talk about how trash our managers have been. The players are trash, and what's the expectation? Well, it's top 4. This team should easily make Europe, and that's exactly what I.
But we're still garbage.
I actually think that as well. I think it's out there. I think
I
the
think
league is no
top
dog
4.
trash right now. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just the worst league. The last couple seasons, the league has been down. I mean, it's crazy. This is the opening we need to kind of get back into. I'd say it has to be top 4.
I don't know that the league's
all he
been
comes
down.
in, he's going to lose his job anyway. So
I think
I
the
think
floor.
there's just so much money coming in.
I think
that
the
all
floor is
teams
a
have
lot
gotten
higher.
better.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think the floor is a lot higher.
I mean, just look at what they're doing in Europe. I mean, the Premier League is well represented in Europe, and hence why we got the 5th spot last season to get in Champions League. But
yeah, we lost the Europa League final.
not the Premier League.
No, but I'm saying like you said, well represented in Europe. A team that the team that won the Europa League finished 16th in the Premier League, and the team that lost finished 15th.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that to Hunter's point, I think we just beat up on each other. I think the Premier League has just gotten a lot better, and they just kind of beat up on each other. But also to your point, that's why it's kind of wide open, and teams at the top keep slipping, and it's giving United a great chance to get into those European spots.
I think City's down too. City not
They're
being the best
super
guard
injured.
it has been the last decade, and Liverpool not being the generational whatever. They had a good 16 months in a COVID year.
They're
You know what I
sliding.
mean, as far as I'm considered. But
I think the thing you're seeing is a lot of the top teams in the Premier League have just lost depth. Those players that would be on your bench that are really good, they're going to other teams that can afford them now.
There's also that
Sure.
whole argument about player fatigue. The players have been playing all the time for 2 or 3 years now. It seems like so. I mean, granted, I don't think it's come up as much this season, but last season, I mean, it was every other game. The players were like, we are tired. We are exhausted. I don't think I've heard much of it this season, but last season it was like all anybody could talk about was how exhausted all the players were.
We don't have a lot of games to play this season, so we should be well rested.
That's true.
We should be
Very
fine.
Well, okay. So the list. I'll read what I have gathered from my social media research here. Okay, so we got potentially after the interim, the caretaker job is done at the end of the season. You still think that Ollie would have a shot at getting the job? So Ollie, Michael Carrick be in the mix, maybe Darren Fletcher could be in the mix, and then you go Ollie Glasner, Crystal Palace, Roberto De Zerbi, Thomas Tuchel, Xavi, Zinedine Zidane, Carlo Ancelotti, Gareth Southgate, Unai Emery, Pochettino, Andoni Areola, Marco Silva, Enzo Maresca, Eddie Howe, Kieran McKenna, Julian Nagelsmann. That's the short list, I think. Does anybody else have anyone else they've seen that's been thrown out there?
Did you say? I know you hate his guess, so I know you probably looked him off the list. Did you say Gareth Southgate?
I did say Gareth Southgate. And I may have skipped him, but yeah.
So I have my list. So I'll read.
Was there a
these
question
names.
in there, Tyler?
I was going to ask: is there anybody that we need to add to that list?
Do
Or
we
is that
forget
all?
anybody?
Are we ready?
Those are all the
Because I have
names
my-
I've seen thrown out.
I have my list. So you already mentioned Xavi, right? So Xavi, Zidane, Maresca, Glasner, all those are on your list. Yeah.
Sure.
Eric Ten Hag I had on my list, but he just took the job at 20 today, so he's out. You have Nuno. Nuno's probably getting sacked after the result today. So,
Yep.
hey, third club in the same year, that'd be a record, I think.
Okay.
Right? 3 clubs in one season. Be incredible.
Sam Allardyce?
Pochettino, hang on. Let me get, excuse
Hurry
me.
up, Kyle.
Excuse me. I have a list. Pochettino, after U.S. wins the World Cup, he can come and, take over United.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce, he's retiring from the NFL. He might be a good fit. I don't know.
Perfect.
He's engaged to Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Him and Andy Reid could do
Or
some.
Ted Lasso in it.
Yeah. Carlo Ancelotti, you had mentioned. Yeah. He's at Brazil. Obviously, tough situation in Brazil. Not much talent there. So maybe he can come over here. Andre Villas-Boas, he's still out there, I think, right? He was supposed to be the future, right?
Good call.
Andre Villas-Boas. Wilfred Nancy just got fired at Celtic, the former Columbus crew manager. Yeah. So, he was only there like 30 days. That might work.
Brian Giggs needs a job. Brian Giggs still
Thank
there.
you.
Sir Alex.
Sir Alex. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sir Alex.
Finally.
What's he doing? I don't know.
He's not on the board anymore, so
it's
he's
true.
freed up.
Yeah, he's what's he doing? How old is he? He's like, what, 80? Whatever.
85.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he's fine. He's young, spry.
Bring him in.
Nicholas Maduro. He just got taken out of his job, so he might be available. I don't know.
Trump?
Maybe Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Let me get to my list. Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Maybe he wants to be Jerry Jones it. I don't know.
Jason Wilcox could do it, yeah.
Jerry Jones. That's a good call.
Yeah, Laurent Blanc, former United player.
Blanc,
yeah.
okay.
His PSG team was a lot of fun. I will say that. Mark Goldbridge.
Mark Goldbridge.
I don't know. He does FIFA, Football Manager. He might do it. King Charles.
I'm sure my mother will be thrilled with that one.
Yeah, King Charles. Greg Berhalter. Jose Mourinho.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Jurgen Lowe. Jurgen Klopp. Donald Trump.
Lowe.
Donald Trump just took over Venezuela's presidency. Maybe he wants to take over ours. I don't know.
I like
it. Jurgen Klinsmann, another Jurgen. Nagelsmann, you had mentioned Nagelsmann. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. John Gruden, he's coaching the college football All-Star game, I think, this weekend. So maybe his brother Jay. I don't know. Maybe both of them.
Ted Lasso. Yep.
Yeah. Luis
Is
Enrique.
this a ranked list?
No. This is just a list. This is all random. Yeah.
He's trying to answer Tyler's question.
Yeah. Luis Enrique.
Thoroughly.
I forgot.
No. Excuse me, guys. I still have a list.
This is Schindler's List. I don't know what's going on over here.
Luis Enrique, he just won a Champions League. He might want to come. I don't know.
I like
it. Diego Simeone. We finally get him to leave Atleti. More defense. It's what we need. Is more defense. That's what you give us. Simeone.
I'd also like to point out that my mother also hates him too. So
he's Argentinian, of course. He's Argentinian, of course she does. Scaloni, another guy your mother probably hates. Lionel Scaloni just won the World Cup. Boom, back with us. And then Didier Deschamps because he's done with France. That's the list.
That's the list, huh?
I think it's a pretty good list. I think it's pretty comprehensive. Who's that?
Michael Bradley is up and coming in the coaching.
Michael Bradley, right? Yes, that is a great call. Yes, he is now the New York Red Bulls manager. I almost put Michael Bradley on the list. Or is that Bob? I don't know what Bob's doing either. So
he was coaching in
father-son
Turkey,
duo.
Kyle, who's top of your list and why?
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be super biased and super unrealistic, it's Zinedine Zidane. But that's never going to happen. One, because he doesn't speak English, and two, he won't do it.
Two, he won't.
He won't. No, it's probably honestly, it's probably Maresca. If you look at the numbers, he was pretty damn good at Chelsea. He just pissed Chelsea off. And so it's like, all right, well, maybe we go pick up their sloppy seconds. I don't care if he's going to win his matches.
The same thing happened with Ineos.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, what are we trying to do here? Are we trying to actually win matches, or are we trying to find someone who's going to stay around for a long time? If you win matches, you're going to stay around. Like, if there's one thing that'll piss off the fan base is if you have someone who's going to win 55, something percent of their matches, and then they can them. It's like, that's what's going to piss us off. Yes, firing someone who's winning 30%, sure. But if you have someone who's genuinely winning matches consistently,
it makes it harder. Yeah.
Yeah.
James, what do you think? Who's your pick?
It's real hard. I honestly, if I had to pick somebody, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love Zinedine Zidane too. I think Zidane would be amazing, but it's never going to happen. He is holding on for that French job for dear life.
He
If
probably
I
will get
had
it
to,
when Deschamps done.
he probably will. I mean,
Yep.
honestly, I would be really interested. Actually, this kind of spread like Carlo Ancelotti. If he gets done with Brazil, I would be kind of interested in that. But I mean,
He told
I don't.
Solskjaer he would never take it.
I don't think. I don't think
He
we
said it
get
was too
Maresca.
good.
I don't think we get Maresca. Maresca just left a terrible board situation. He's not going to come. He's not going to come to arguably an even worse board situation. I honestly don't have. This kind of scares me. Is I honestly don't have a clue who's going to be in charge. At the end of the summer. So,
Alan, who's your pick?
James, I'm not trying to downplay your pick. I just thought it was funny you brought up Ancelotti and Solskjaer maybe coming in, and he told the story on the overlap. But it said he said on the overlap that Ancelotti told him he would never take it because there's too much pressure at United.
Interesting.
Which I thought was interesting. My pick would probably be Unai Emery. I think what he's done at Aston Villa has been pretty impressive. Villa started out pretty rough this season, and he turned it around and went on. Would they win 11 or 12 in a row?
11.
So I think, and he's won Europa 3 times, 4 times.
Yeah. Twice with Sevilla.
So I don't know. I think he has a pretty impressive resume. He hasn't really got a chance at a big club outside of Arsenal. For what, a season? Was it 2 seasons? I don't remember.
It was about a season and a half, I think.
Yeah. So I think I would like to see him get a shot at United, see what he can do. From what I can tell, other than his time at Arsenal, he gets the most out of his teams. And that's what we need right now, especially with them trying to buy younger, kind of less proven players and trying to have them develop. I think he's been able to develop some players and get the best out of them. So I would probably pick him because I know Zidane's not going to come. Solskjaer would be awesome if he won 20 in a row and got the contract and came back and had just this awesome return arc. I would love to see that, but I don't think that's going to happen. So my pick would be Unai.
Okay. Matt, what do you got?
I'm going to go with Glasner. I like him to bring Munoz with him.
You want more back of the 3?
3-4-3.
back?
Yeah, you slot right in.
I think it picks right up where we're at. I think he can improve it. I think it's going to be more attacking.
I think it's a great call. I mean, you have someone who ran 3 at the back, who was running 3 at the back, who bought players for 3 at the back. If you have someone who brings in different players that are actually going to have worked, obviously, to win an FA Cup and perform pretty well with Crystal Palace, I think Glasner wouldn't be bad.
If he brings in Chris Richards, I'll be absolutely thrilled.
That's right.
And Wharton.
That's right.
And Wharton. Bring Wharton with him.
Hunter?
We're talking about Americans here, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Relax. Mateta, too.
Tyler Adams.
We're just talking about
Tyler Adams.
He plays for Bournemouth. But if we're talking about Palace, Mateta wouldn't be a bad 9 also. So
no, if we're talking about Americans, we can bring in Pulisic, Tyler Adams, Chris Richards.
Hey, we were linked to Pulisic at one point, which I'd love.
We were.
Yeah.
We were. Okay, sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, that was what I had. Yeah, I think he's just better at pressing, better at attacking out of the 3 at the back. I just think we need better wing backs, especially on the right side, to do that. So I think you'd have to convince Munoz to come with him, or we'd have to go buy somebody. Obviously, we're not doing anything in the winter window, I'd assume now. So I think we're probably saving some money for the summer window. So hopefully a big splash there.
You said 2 crazy things to me there. One is the right side, right? The right side of the wingback situation, which is true. But at the same time, it's like that's where we bought Mazraoui to try to play, right? And that's where Ahmad, we should be playing him as a wingback.
We should.
He's a wide, he's a wide player, because you could play him right behind Mbeumo, and that would work really well.
And maybe that's what Glasner does if he comes in. We just don't know.
That's what's crazy to me is that because at the left side you have Dorgu, and then you've been playing Dallo over there. It's and then now Dorgu's playing right wing. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's madness. Sorry,
Kyle. Dallo's days are numbered because his cousin Ruben's gone. So I don't think we're going to see him much more.
Thank God.
Nepotism.
Thank God. Thank God. Just cancel his contract tomorrow.
I have one more. I have one more thing to add to this. I actually voiced this thought to my mom last night. I was like, Mom, I'm scared, just because depending on who comes in, how likely is Bruno to stay at the club? Because he had the big Portuguese connect with Amorim. They clearly liked each other. And Bruno has already been pissed off by the club at least a couple times. So like depending,
I think didn't he try to get rid of him this summer, the coach or whatever? See,
well,
I think
they said he was up for sale or up for grabs, kind of.
so.
Well, the question is too: is all this stuff going on with Manu going to impact that, or is ownership going to want to keep Manu around? And then when summer comes, we're looking at Bruno leaving.
I think that if you're going to let Manu go, you let him go on loan and bring him back in the summer.
100%.
But look, if Bruno leaves, he leaves. I think it would be a huge loss, obviously, in our creativity and our goal scoring potential. But I think that there's creative players that could slot in there. Again, I brought up Cunha earlier. If you play Cunha as a 10, he's a very good 10. I don't know. I think that, we've been playing Bruno in, kind of a weird spots from times. Like at the beginning of the season, he was playing next to Casemiro back in that pivot role, which he could play. But it's just when he starts pressing forward, that leaves the back exposed more in a 3-back system. That's why you're supposed to rely on your wing backs. But if none of them are pressing forward or can't cross like Dallo, you end up with not much attack there. So I think that the dynamics and the transfers of the club have to happen. And the other thing they said was crazy on the winter transfer side is like we have significant needs in the window, and without a manager, obviously it's going to be hard to fill. But it's like if we don't get someone to fill in and spell Ugarte and Casemiro back to the bench, we will continue to have a terrible midfield. Like it's like we had been linked with Valverde at one point. We've been linked with Stiller. We've been linked with Baliba. I said we were linked with Keane from in Roma. Like we've been linked
Roy?
with not Roy. I
Sweet.
wish, but like we've been linked with all these players. And like I said to Alan as a joke, like I think we're linked with every midfielder in Europe at this point. But that's what we need. We need someone who's going to be able to possess the ball, who's going to be able to allow our attackers to truly be free and able to attack and create rather than worry about Ugarte turning the ball over behind them or Casemiro being 100 years old.
I was going to give
Have you
my
heard from Hunter?
out.
Yeah, Hunter, your turn, buddy. Go on.
I know we kind of switched subjects before the round table got to me, but that's okay. I forgive
Sorry.
you guys.
Thank you.
I don't really have a name in mind. I think Ollie's kind of is the perfect solution why they look for somebody. But I do think Ineos will go after a head coach this time and make it clear to that person. Now, we have thrown out different names like Zidane and guys who are bigger, who are manager-esque. And maybe if they could get a hold of one of those guys, they would probably sacrifice that title. I don't know if Zidane would come in and work under a head coach title, but I think that's
not a chance.
What they want. So I don't know some of the names you threw around. You think they're going to be comfortable not having control in the market or anything like that? I don't know. It's either going to be a young up and comer or a guy that's kind of down that will make a sacrifice as far as not being a quote unquote manager of the club. And I think that's good. I thought that took a lot of pressure off Anthem whenever he first came in, whenever he was a head coach. But I guess that got to him. I mean, obviously it did through the outburst at the press conference.
Well, if you have a very formation style of play and you want to bring guys in to fit the formation and you're not able to make those calls, I think that's just going to cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, you brought in 2 up-and-comers, the past 2 hires, and they both got sacked in a year and a half.
We're not going back to that anytime soon. I think it'll be someone who's Premier League proven. I think Glasner's probably top of the list. I like Emery a lot. I wouldn't have any problems with him. I kind of think Thomas Tuchel might get a shot when World Cup's over. They might wait around for him. They liked him, talked to him before they hired Amorim. I don't know.
Zerbi also has Prem experience.
Exactly.
So.
Mm-hmm.
And Gareth Southgate has Prem experience, and they love Gareth Southgate. By all accounts, they're buds. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Does anyone here like Gareth Southgate?
No.
I'm going to say
no.
No thanks.
Oh,
no thanks.
All
right.
But
Southgate would take the head coach. Like he would be.
Gareth Southgate would definitely have no problem with that.
He would know his role, and he wouldn't get involved with that. So yeah, I could totally see it. And I think he'll be British too. I don't know if the continental experiment for Manchester United has proven post Sir Alex Ferguson. I mean, I like Xavi a lot, but I don't know if they'll go back to a guy from the Iberian Peninsula after Anthem. I mean, really, I think it kind of, and I don't think they'd let Xavi bring in his guys. Whoever's coming in next is not getting 12 of their coaches coming with them like Anthem did, because they had, God knows what the payout for them was with.
It was 27 million pounds or something like that I saw earlier.
Yeah, they're partying in Lisbon right now, 100%.
Well,
I think I saw between firing Ten Hag, the whole debacle with Ashworth, and then to bring in Amorim and then to fire Amorim, we've spent like 40 mil.
Sounds right. I think it's 30 mil that we had already promised to Amorim, so everything else
The
on that.
best we looked last season was under Rude. So, I mean,
that's 3 matches. The thing is that like you can't argue that we are in a better position now than we were last year, which is obviously easy to say. But
it's hard to excuse last season though, as much as like we kind of quit and focused on Europa. Still losing the final the way he did and ending up in 15th. I mean, that's I just, the way he acted afterwards, it's kind of like, I did my thing. I was all right. I had improved things. It's like, I mean, sure, but you had improved, but the bar was so low because last season was absolute garbage.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I can excuse a little bit of last season with him in the second half because he did come in basically with no window. He had only this summer to buy guys. No preseason. He had nothing. He was just taking over a club, and just, trying to do his thing and insert his fundamentals. And that's what he was trying to build there. And obviously you've seen improvement season to season. But again, it's the tactical moves that he's making. He's making great. We were pissed off at Greg Berhalter as US fans. Like that's what the moves he was making as far as like subs. He was like, "What are you doing? Why are we making the substitution? Why aren't we attacking more? Why aren't we doing this?" And again, it's misusing players. It's relying too heavily on certain people. I think that it makes sense for him to go. I just hope that the next manager isn't handcuffed by the board. That is the only thing I hope and pray for, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think that
it's not a manager, man. It's a head coach. He's going to be handcuffed by the board. I know. I don't get where this rebellious attitude against the board. They gave him every chance, dude. We were dog shit last year. This stint has been the worst viewing of Manchester United Football Club as an attacking unit on the field for me.
Sure.
You guys keep on saying we've scored a lot of goals this year. It doesn't feel like it to me when I go up to the bar. I'm not jumping my ass up and down over and over again because we're scoring a lot of goals.
Are we third in goals scored?
Monday games or the Wednesday games I didn't go up there for, but I think he got every chance up until this last month, and then he mouthed off.
I think we're third in goals this season in the Prem, but.
It's better.
It just doesn't feel like it. Does it feel like you're an attacking team?
No. And I think part of the problem is that Šeško has been super underperforming all year. He's been hurt, obviously, for a little bit. But it's the fact that we're trying to pass the ball into the net all the time. So that's why our XG is through the roof because we dribble down and everyone is looking for a perfect pass where we can just pass the ball into the net instead of just firing things in. The goal that Fulham scored yesterday or the day before would never happen with us because no one would shoot that ball. And
Martinez would.
Thank you. It's the fact that the nines that we've had, like post Ronaldo, have been terrible. Like terrible.
Is that the system they've been in? Because what's his face in Napoli? Højlund is,
But Højlund was terrible. He was terrible under Ten Hag.
He was terrible under Amorim last season.
Top goal scorer for.
He was the top.
He wasn't great.
He was the top goal scorer when he was at Atalanta before he bought him. So it's like you can do it in the Serie A, but Šeško was doing it in the Bundesliga. And
James,
yeah.
James, what do you think we need to focus on for improving over the next half season?
There probably is definitely a midfielder that needs to be picked up. I mean, once all the players are back from AFCON, That's the thing. Is like I honestly don't think that we might pick up a player on loan or something like that. This like in January. I really liked Sabitzer a couple years back. I thought he did a lot of I thought he did a lot of good things. But I just don't see how anybody wants to, I mean, yeah, it is Manchester United. Yeah, we can draw players in, but it's also at the same time, it's like, there are players who don't want to come because they see, all the shit that's going down. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's probably my first cuss word on this, but
I said like 10.
that's fair. I just don't know if we're going to. I don't know if we're going to be able to steady the ship, really. I mean, I hope that once the players roll back, we make a deep run, qualify for Europe, do really well in the FA Cup. And then, honestly, I think it might take like another summer transfer window to really, sort things out. But it also depends on, how soon we get that coach in, because if you leave it really late, you don't have that long to do business. And then you're stuck with who you got.
Do we have money
Overspending for Marwan Fellaini.
I mean,
but the
it's
question
almost
is,
like, we need a midfielder. Like, a good midfielder costs $60 million, and they're just not.
Oh yeah,
You can pluck them from trees. I'm just.
I'd go buy Angelo Stiller.
But they were in for Semenyo, so there's some sort of money somewhere.
There's money.
Whether it's in installments or something.
Go buy Angelo Stiller. I don't know why we haven't done that already. But
I mean, if we had the money for the midfielder, we could have just broken the bank and bought Baliba in the fall. Because we were really linked with Baliba.
They tried
90. Yeah, we probably offered
I think
like 90
they tried.
million. Yeah,
I think they tried.
Brighton wouldn't sell.
Yeah. I don't think Brighton wanted to sell.
90.
Yeah, I think we could have got a Stuttgart and gotten Stiller for 20 million less than that. But anyway, but one of the things you said it drew my attention. It's like, but the question is right now, with the current way the club's run, without a manager and without a good idea of the direction of the club, what professional would want to come to Manchester United over a different opportunity?
Our money's just as green as anybody else's. I don't think we have any issues with players not wanting to come to the club.
Are you saying players or manager?
Either or. I mean, either or. I mean, if you're offering me the same wages, the same, obviously the club it's the transfer fee, but if you're offering me the same wages and the same role at a different Premier League club, what would make me want to come to Manchester United other than history?
Or
you're a fan. The guy to fix United. That
social media clout. I mean,
the social media clout and stuff like that. But it's like if you're there to win trophies, you're better off right now going to an Aston Villa.
We got more trophies than Liverpool in the last decade. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I mean, problem's not trophies; it's the Premier League.
It's the Premier League. It's the Premier League. It's the Champions League. It's the big trophies. Okay, it's not the half-ass treble we won with Mourinho. It's the Premier League. It's the Champions League.
Respect, Kyle. Respect.
Look, you are again. You're talking to a huge Mourinho guy, but like that's my question though. It's like we haven't won the Premier League in 15 years. We haven't won the Champions League in fucking 20. It's like, what are we doing? Like what?
Why would they go to Arsenal then? They go to Arsenal just fine. Arsenal hasn't won shit.
Well, yeah, but Arsenal right now is top of the Premier League. They finished in the top four. They've consistently been a very, very good club for the last 5 years. Whereas
we're still bringing in good talent.
We've been in more finals and have more trophies than Arsenal. I think.
Sure.
I mean, off the top,
I
still think there's a negative connotation for people like what Tyler said. Anybody that fixes this problem and is part of the squad that fixes this problem will be as big as the legends that talk.
It's a class of '92. Yeah,
because everybody wants it. We all want it. We're dying for it. So I think that I think any player, as long as I think we're not Liverpool or Liverpool players. Probably don't want to come here, but I'd say anybody would want to come here unless they play for Real Madrid or Barcelona. Harry Kane. Harry Kane would probably want to come here tomorrow. I mean,
I don't know about that one.
He did finally win a trophy.
Hey,
he's winning trophies.
Matt, what do you want to see over the next half season improve on the most? Like, what do you think Solskjaer or whoever comes in as interim should focus on improving the
I would
squad
like
the
to
most?
get a defensive midfielder. I'm not sure they're going to spend a lot of money on it, but somebody to come in and at least support back there. But I think it's really just stability. I think we have to get some stability. I think we got to get to the top 4 or close. I think top 5's fine. I think we have to move up from 6th. I mean, that was the statement that came out when they fired Amorim was, hey, we know we're in 6th, but we should be better. So I assume they were going
I'm sorry,
to.
that is such a BS statement from the club. Like, such a BS statement.
Bruno
They
makes
were
those
fine
two
with all
penalties.
the
We're in second.
the statement from the club almost pissed me off. I was like, y'all are just putting this out for PR. It's such a joke. Anyway, sorry,
But
Matt,
I'm
go ahead.
hoping that's what they're actually going to try and do is move up. So you'd
Sure.
like to think they'd support, if it's Ollie that comes in for the rest of the season, they'll give him a piece or something to do with for the rest of the season. But I assume they're not going to let us just flounder because we're so close to the Champions League. They at least have to make a push for it.
I think they're going to ask for what they can get out of the current players they have. I'd be shocked if we bought anyone of any substantial value in January.
Does Darren
Yeah.
Flicker start 3 at the back tomorrow night?
I don't
No
think
chance.
we're gonna buy. There may be a chance of a loan from somebody, but I don't think we're gonna buy anybody in January.
No big buys. Yeah,
Hunter,
to
answer your question, I don't think so.
4-3-3 immediately.
Yeah.
I think we'll go back to 4 at the back.
Which
Yeah.
one gets the most
Yeah.
Fletchers in?
Yeah, that was a lot of the jokes I saw was, our pivot's going to be both Fletcher boys tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. No, but my concern with going to 4 at the back is just, you're leaving more of an isolation of Ugarte or Casemiro there. It's just, just
We were conceding so much, anyways. Though I just don't think
I don't
the
disagree with you.
juice
It's
is worth
just
the squeeze.
the turnovers in the midfield are just bane of our, like, it's the reason why we're giving up so many big chances and things like that. It's putting a lot of pressure on the back 3. Do I think that some of the center backs are at fault? Absolutely, but I think that the lack of confidence in that midfield that's supposed to be that outlet for the center backs has really killed us.
Agreed. Well, anybody else want to add anything before we wrap this thing up? Anybody have anything on their list they wanted to discuss?
I already went through my list, but
Could you go through it again,
Yeah.
please?
I can if you guys want me to. No, I think, given everything that's happened with United this season, at least it's been a good Premier League season. Like, obviously Wolves is like they're historically bad, but like the top is kind of competitive right now. Obviously the middle of the table is extremely competitive. I know we talked about the parity and the floor coming up, but it's overall a good thing for the Premier League that there's not this we're not Germany or France or Spain or Italy really, where there's just 5 clubs and then everything else. It's good to have parity. It's good that you're going in and it's a competitive game. Yes, as a fan, it stresses you the hell out.
We're not going to win the Premier League, so we have to act depressed. I'm sorry, you can't talk like this right now. We have to act depressed.
I think it's very, very good for the league overall. Because it creates more buzz, it creates more action. The odds of having a Leicester City are becoming more and more likely. Of having this out of nowhere winner, and it's good overall for the league. So I think United fans and every big club really has to start trying to temper their expectations, because as more money comes in the Prem, we're going to be dealing with this more and more.
So Solskjaer is going to win the FA Cup and the Premier League this season.
Sure, and if he
Awesome,
does,
Kyle.
if he
Thanks for
does,
that prediction.
if he does, you can give him the job at this point. But
I have a message from my mother. She says that she wanted me to tell you that she is not happy with the sacking, and that's she liked Amorim. She thinks that they could have at least gone the rest of the season. So
it's fair.
Right there with you,
Two
Liz.
people on the podcast tonight. All right, good job.
Yeah.
Well,
Mailbag.
fellas, I appreciate everybody jumping on such short notice. Yeah, it's been fun. The United play Burnley tomorrow. That'd be Wednesday away. 2:15. That game's on USA. We'll be at Skinnies for that as always. The women are back after their long break. Saturday against Arsenal. and then the men take on Brighton in the FA Cup third round Sunday at 10:30. Go on,
New
Kyle.
new striker for the women.
That's right. Yeah, look at you.
Leah Schuler. Leah
Yeah.
Schuler.
No, that's a high profile matchup we got with the women coming back to, so that'll be fun. And then the fellas in the month with City at home and Arsenal away. So caretaker manager is going to have his work cut out for him. He's going to earn those points if we pick up any. But guys, I appreciate you jumping on. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, until next time, come on, you Reds.
Up the Reds.
Money Reds.
Later, guys.